So Tesla's Plaid Model S delivery event has come and gone, but there's still a lot that has not been made clear about Tesla's Plaid Model S. While a lot of people were excited for the event, we didn't learn very many new things, which is not surprising because it was a delivery event giving the first customers their Model S Plaid vehicles. But there are still a lot of questions left over about this new and improved Plaid Model S that people are wondering. And while Elon Musk didn't tell us everything we wanted to know, luckily Tesla has released some info on their website, and there are a few of the lucky owners that are sharing their experiences online. So we're going to talk about some of the new and interesting features of the Plaid Model S that Elon Musk did not tell us at the delivery event. So yes, if you follow me or my channel, I was invited to the delivery event. It was my first invite to a Tesla event, and I was extremely excited to go. We only had a few days notice, but there was a couple flights that I could pick from. I picked some flights to get out there. I was gonna arrive about 3 hours before the event started, but unfortunately my flight was delayed several times and I ended up just going back home from the airport. Yes, it was incredibly disappointing and devastating, and I was really sad. Luckily, no huge surprises that I missed at the event. I did watch the live stream. It wasn't all that exciting, but of course, getting to go there, getting to experience the Plaid, check out that yoke steering wheel, see and feel and try the interior, that would have been an amazing opportunity. Let's hope I can get an invite in the future. So anyway, the interior is totally refreshed, and it seemed like Elon Musk just kind of glanced over a lot of the details here. And again, it was a delivery event. It wasn't a reveal. It wasn't anything for us to learn. It was just, here's 25 owners that are going to pick up their cars. It's kind of a celebration of finally getting this Plaid Model S out the door. But we have learned some new things about the way the yoke steering wheel works and all the buttons on there. Also, the yoke steering wheel is looking great. I know there's been a lot of contention online, people saying it's a terrible mistake, it won't be practical, but the couple videos I've seen of people actually using it, it looks like they adapted really quickly to it. It looks pretty normal and natural to use. And of course, it also just looks really cool, which, you know, has to count for something. Now, people picking up these fancy, awesome new Teslas probably also want to pick up a fancy new wallet. This video is sponsored by Exter, the world's smartest wallet. Never lose your wallet again with Exter's solar-powered GPS tracking. It only takes 2 hours of sunlight to give you 3 months of charge. It's traceable worldwide. They have several different great practical wallets to choose from. I'm currently rocking the Midnight Blue aluminum wallet. I love the way it works, how the cards just kind of come out of there. You can pick, you know, I don't want to take out my credit card, show you my info, but so easy to use, so convenient. And I have the GPS tracker on there so I can never lose my wallet. It can also help me locate my phone. This is definitely the best wallet I've ever had. It's so easy to use the cards. It's very slim, lightweight. I really enjoy the app I can use to track the wallet, or I can find my phone from my wallet if I lost that as well. I have a link and discount code down in the comments below. Make sure you check that out. Again, Extra Wallet. It is really nice. My favorite wallet I've ever had. So with the yoke steering wheel, Tesla is getting rid of all the stalks. There is no gear selector that's on the touchscreen or done automatically. And there's no turn signal stalk, windshield wiper stalk, autopilot stalk, any of that. It's all on the wheel or on the screen. So now if you look at the yoke steering wheel on the left, we have left and right turn signals and the headlights, and of course a scroll wheel. And then on the right, we have the horn, which is pretty strange. We have a speed selector that most likely will also be used for autopilot, windshield wipers, and then our microphone button are on the right side with another scroll wheel. But how do these buttons work? With a turn signal stalk, you have 2 modes of action. A hard click will keep your turn signal on until you turn. A light press will give you 3 blinks as you're making a lane change or something like that. Well, luckily, Tesla has released an instructional video on their website detailing the way some of these buttons work. So pretty interesting for the turn signal. If you just want to make a lane change or use your turn signal for a second, you hold your thumb on the button until you're done, then you let off and the turn signal will turn off. Or you can do a hard press and that will leave the turn signal on until you complete your right or left turn. Personally, not a huge fan of holding the button while you're trying to make a lane change or something. I think a quick tap of the button should maybe give you 3 blinks, and then a hard press can leave it on until you make a turn. But maybe this will be addressed in a software update, hopefully. Of course, headlights are usually automatic, but the headlight button can be used to toggle your brights on and off, or toggle your automatic brights on and off if that's what you have selected in the software settings. If you don't want automatic brights, I have not had great experiences in my Tesla Model 3. Of course, this Model S is completely new and different and might be great, but if you don't like that enabled, you can go into the settings and change how that works, and that will change the way the button works. On the right side, the horn, this is probably the weirdest one in my opinion. To use your horn on your car, you now press this tiny little button, you hold it, and then your horn's going, you tap it for a quick, you know, toot of the horn, and that's it. The middle of the steering wheel, there's no horn there anymore, which is really strange. I don't really use my horn all that often. I know it's more common in different parts of the country and different parts of the world to use your horn, but for people that use it a lot or get angry and want to just like slam on the horn, you don't have that option anymore. You're gonna be like slamming on nothing. It'll be really strange. Or if you're really mad, you're just be like, hit this little button, like, oh, I got you. So pretty strange decision on Tesla's part. I think a lot of this, you know, people think these decisions are strange, but overall I don't mind it too much, but it is pretty interesting. The windshield wiper button I actually love. With one tap of the button, you'll get a single wipe if you just need to wipe off the windshield really quick. If you hold the button, you'll get a spray if you want to clean off your windshield. And when you tap the button, you can then select on the screen if you want fast wipers, slow wipers, or just keep them on auto wipers. Now, a lot of people don't have a great experience with Tesla's current auto wiper setup. It uses an AI to detect water droplets on the camera and turn the wipers on and off as needed. Personally, it works great for me, but I do hear a lot of complaints online. Although I've seen in the latest updates, people seem to be a lot happier with the performance of their wipers. The biggest problem I have with the automatic wipers, if you do get a quick splash or spray or covering on the windshield, it doesn't usually detect that, but this is fine for the way this button is set up. You just a quick tap and it'll wipe it right off and you're done. And then of course the microphone button. In the Model 3, you actually just click the right scroll wheel. So I don't know if that will be mapped to something else in the Model S now that you have a dedicated button. This could also show Tesla is going to be relying more and more on these voice commands. You know, if people complain about something like the wipers being hard to use, you can just use a voice command and you can say set wipers to speed 3 and they're on. You don't have to look away, you don't have to do anything. You can just say that and it'll happen. And almost all of the car is controllable this way through your voice. So you can turn on your seat heaters, change the temperature in the cabin. Pretty much anything you want to do, you can just say it. So this is a lot easier if people are not happy with some of the ways the controls are set up. Some pictures from the event showed a Plaid badge on the back of the Plaid Model S. It looked kind of cool, kind of weird, kind of random. There was no mention of this, so I'm not sure if this was a special edition badge for people that are picking up just from the delivery event, or if every Plaid Model S will come with this badge. It's pretty unique, so let's talk about the automatic gear changing in the Model S. There's no stalk. You can't use the stalk to go into drive or reverse or anything like all the other Teslas. And so this has been a pretty wild feature and a lot of people have had opinions on it. By default, this is actually turned off and the car will not automatically guess which way you want to go. To turn it on, you have to go in the settings. Of course, it's a beta feature like a lot of things on Teslas. And then you can enable it and the car will automatically guess which way you want to go. Tesla Raj has a really nice video demonstrating this. If you check out his channel, he actually had a really in-depth look at the Plaid Model S. He has a lot of new info if you want to check that out. But he tested it and it seemed to work really well. And when you want to select gears yourself, if the car's not going to do it, the gear selector is now on the left side of the screen, so really close to where your right hand is. You just kind of boop, move over, and then that's it. You have your gear selection. You go up on the screen to go forward, down on the screen to go reverse, and then when you're in drive or reverse, there's a park button at the top. You can just click that. If you want to go into neutral, you have to actually dig into the menus a little bit. I think this is fine. I pretty much never use neutral unless I go through a car wash. A lot of people do not use neutral. A lot of Tesla owners refuse to go through car washes for whatever reason. So the uses so far, it seems great. It seems like people will get used to it really fast. Like the Model 3 and Model Y, people were thinking no gauge cluster, no instrument cluster right in front of you was going to be weird or bad, and people adapted to it. Pretty much everyone that I've let drive my car, I mean, within a minute or two of driving it, they don't care. You can see everything easily there. It's just another new thing that people will adapt to. And then there is actually another way to shift gears besides the screen. Now, if the screen's not working for some reason, I'm sure that won't be very common, but it is of course possible. Below the phone chargers in the dock there, you have all your gears that you can select. These are capacitive buttons. You can just touch them to go into park, reverse, neutral, drive. Most of the time they are deactivated. You have to touch them first and then they will activate and you can touch it again to select which one you want. If the car detects that the screen is not on for some reason, those buttons will be illuminated. So even without the center screen, you still can put your car into drive, park, whatever you need to do to drive around. At the event, when people were checking out the Plaid Model S, Tesla actually had their own branded controller in the car, and it was pretty cool. It was shaped just like the yoke steering wheel. Now this is really interesting. Elon Musk didn't mention anything about this. You think this is something he would hype up, and it was looking like maybe the initial deliveries came with those controllers. I don't think that's true. I think it was just something Tesla had at the event, but I would keep an eye on Tesla's website. I would not be surprised to see a Tesla branded game controller eventually go on sale there. It seems like Tesla's really moving into the entertainment space on their vehicles. We're adding more games all the time. The new Model S and Model X are on par with the PlayStation 5 in terms of their computing power. Now at the event, Tesla showed Cyberpunk 2077 playing on the Model S. If you're not familiar, it's just a very new game. It's very graphically intense, difficult to run. And it was on the car, it was running on the car, people could play it there. But it seems like new vehicles are not being delivered with this game. The interior door handles are now just like the Model 3 and Model Y, but instead of being an actual clickable button like in the 3 and Y, it's a capacitive button. So you just touch it and it will open the door for you. Nothing moves, no moving parts there. So pretty nice, it looks really nice, and it's a great addition. Now the rear touchscreen, this is something I was really excited for, and it was barely touched on the event. Of course, you know, you can assume mostly what it's gonna do, but it's eventually going to give media controls, so you can control music and things like that. Climate control, that's huge for back passengers. They can control their own climate. Heated seats, there are no cooled seats, no ventilated seats in the rear, but the rear passengers can now turn on and off their heated seats. I know that's always been a little awkward for me when I'm asking people if they want it or not if they're back there. And then streaming services as well, so Hulu, Netflix can all be accessed on that back screen. It seems like for now games are not working, but I think eventually that's going to be coming to the car. It seems like the car still needs a lot of software updates to enable all of the features that it's going to come with. This might sound pretty crazy, especially for such an expensive car, but I think these people that took delivery are Tesla veterans, and this is how it started with the Model 3 as well. There was a lot missing from the Model 3 when it was first delivered. I don't think heated seats were working, if I remember correctly, and it came in a software update. Certain parts of the radio were not working, and it came in a software update. So this is something Tesla is kind of known to do. The Model S, and of course this will include the X as well, now use phone key, just like the Model 3 and Model Y. So in the older S and X, you had to have a key fob. Now with phone key, once you set it up, you just walk up to your car, it detects Bluetooth on your phone, it unlocks, you just get in and you can drive. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to use a key fob. It's great. I love it on my Model 3. It is completely flawless. I mean, flawless. It always activates. I can always unlock my car. I really enjoy that. You can use key cards also, just like the 3 and Y with the new S and X, and you can still use a key fob. It's unclear if it comes with one or not. I feel like it would. Again, expensive car, but we know Tesla, like they're not even putting stocks in these expensive cars, so maybe they're leaving the key fob out as well. And according to the manual, you can have up to 19 keys linked to this car. So that's really nice if you have maybe a business vehicle, you need a lot of people sharing it, they can each have a key, no problem there. There is an emergency rear door opening in the manual. Now, I guess this is normal, and the old Model S has had this as well, but I know in my Model 3, in the older Model 3s, there was nothing in the back for an emergency door release. So the doors are opened electronically, so if there's absolutely no power to the car, then you cannot get out of the back doors. Well, the Model S will have a mechanical latch in front of the rear seats. There is a mechanical switch in the Model Y in the door pockets. If you lift up the little flap there, you can pull that, but I still don't think in new Model 3s they have that. I'm not sure. And then really exciting, a new 12-volt battery from Tesla. This is a lithium-ion 12-volt battery. It's very small and it's very exciting. People have had trouble with their 12-volt batteries. Luckily on my Model 3, I've never had an issue. I still have my original one from 2.5 years ago, 50,000 miles ago, and it's working great. But a lot of people have trouble with them dying for whatever reason. It kind of depends on your usage of the car and the way you charge it. But now with this lithium-ion battery, it shouldn't be a problem anymore. Again, it's a lot smaller, probably weight savings for the car and everything. And then a pretty big question I still have, Elon Musk mentioned at the event that they have supercharging speeds of 250 kilowatts, but then he said, you know, then we'll up it to 300, 350. And so is the Model S going to be capable of even faster charging speeds than the 250 kilowatts that version 3 superchargers have right now? That would be great. That would be really good. Charging is already super fast, but nobody's going to complain about it being faster. So as time goes on, we're going to learn more and more about the Model S. Keep watching YouTube and Twitter for some more information. If anybody in Michigan gets delivery, please contact me. I'd love to check it out, make a video on it if you want to do that. So overall, Plaid Model S is really sweet. This makes me even more excited for the long-range Model X we have in order. I cannot wait to try out that yoke, try out those buttons, experience the speed. I mean, that Model X is faster than my Model 3 and it's like way bigger. It's going to be crazy. I look forward to answering your questions and talking to you down in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video, and you will see me in the next one.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving.